We left off at Supervisor from District 3, Aaron Peskin.
Supervisor Peskin.
I will be joining Supervisor Ronen in an in memoriam for Rose Braz, and Supervisor Ronen will be speaking to that, but I just want to say rest in power, Rose, and our condolences to her husband of many years, Brent Plater.
Thank you, Supervisor Peskin. Supervisor Ronen.
Thank you, Supervisor Peskin. It's with a very, very heavy heart that I ask the board to close the meeting in the memory of Rose Braz. Renowned and beloved San Francisco environmental and human liberation activist Rose Marie Braz died last Wednesday after a 3-year battle with brain cancer. She was 55 years old. When I was a law student, Rose Braz was a legend. I dreamt of being an activist lawyer that would change the world and take on the root causes of inequality and injustice, and she was my role model. Few people make such a difference in the world and impact as many lives as Rose, and her work lives on. I want to share parts of the beautiful life tribute about Rose on the Wild Equity website. Rose grew up in Concord, California with her brother Joe and parents Ray and Rosalie Braz. She was the first of her working-class Portuguese-American family to attend college, earning a degree from UC Berkeley in 1983. After graduating, Rose was hired as a staffer for Speaker of the California Assembly, Willie Brown. She continued her involvement in campus organizing and was a leader of the campaign against apartheid, where she developed a reputation as a fiercely dedicated and gifted organizer and a persistent thorn in the side of the UC Regents. In 1987, Rose taught English at the Denko Project, a Zimbabwean secondary school and vocational training center serving disabled ex-combatants and refugees from South Africa, Mozambique, and Namibia. There, she also oversaw the creation of a school library and the publication of the school's first magazine, Progress. Upon returning to California in 1989, Rose enrolled in the UC Berkeley School of Law. At law school, she was a leader of a campaign to diversify the school's largely white male faculty. She interned at the East Bay Community Law Center and the United Nations Human Rights Commission in Geneva. After graduating from law school in 1992, Rose worked for several years as a criminal defense attorney, defending political protesters, among others, and advocating for the release of political prisoners. Rose co-founded Critical Resistance, the movement that would become the first national organization dedicated to the abolition of the prison industrial complex. Rose was the organization's first staff hired in 1999 and a key leader for 13 years, during which time the organization became a powerful force in fights against prison expansion and criminalization. Rose's persistence, creativity, and moral clarity helped the idea of abolishing the prison industrial complex takes root across the country. Angela Davis said, "The international abolitionist movement owes a greater debt to Rose Braz than can ever be adequately acknowledged. Rose has always modeled the dedication, compassion, and humility that distinguished our very best social justice leaders. I consider myself one of the many who have been profoundly inspired by her example. Whenever there is a struggle, resistance, and dreams of a better future, Rose's spirit and legacy will be secure." In 2008, Rose married Brent Plater, an environmental attorney who founded the Wild Equity Institute, where she served as a chairperson of the board of directors. Rose and Brent took in and loved 2 rescue dogs, Charlotte and Frosty, famous for their endearing, quirky personalities. From 2009 until her death, Rose pursued her other great professional passion, environmental protection, as a climate campaign director for the Center for Biological Diversity. There, she founded the center's grassroots climate organizing program and launched several influential national climate and anti-fracking organizations. A tireless, fierce, and deeply empathetic organizer, Rose coined the phrase, "Climate leaders don't frack," and led the ongoing campaign to compel Governor Jerry Brown to ban fracking in the Golden State. She worked constantly to build and strengthen ties between climate, environmental, and social justice, labor, and faith organizations. Rose will be remembered by the San Francisco Bay Area activist community as a smart, gifted, compassionate, and committed organizer who always put the cause ahead of personal ambition and ego and worked tirelessly behind the scenes and in the limelight. For her friends and her family, she was a kind, funny, generous, supportive, loving, loyal, and beautiful woman who loved hiking, birding, dancing, traveling, Animals, Chocolate, The Warriors, and the movie Dirty Dancing, which she was rumored to have watched 20 times. Rose is survived by her beloved husband, brother, and father. We love you, Rose. Rest in power and peace.
Thank you, Supervisor Ronen. Supervisor Kim.
I would just like to be added on as a co-sponsor, and I just want to thank Supervisor Ronen for your beautiful words, and she will be tremendously missed here.
Thank you, Supervisor Kim. Supervisor Safai.